welcome to Uplink OS walkthrough. Now this one isn't, by looking it up, I noticed that there's just a ton of these on YouTube, so I'm not exactly, I kind of like doing the Street Hacker one better just because it's just not too often that you get to actually add new content that's not available. But I do like this one too. I would definitely, as of all the hacking games, I would give it close. Hacknet and this are pretty close together. But Uplink definitely, if you're not a fan of the typing or all the typing, there's a little bit, but for the most part, you can get by without doing too much typing. I just wish that the guy would have thought of adding copy paste, and then there would have been absolutely no typing. You could copy paste everything. I guess he thought maybe that'd be too easy. So now, and I also know a few people that want to play, possibly play this game in the future, and also haven't seen the new Uplink OS. So it'll be a good chance I can refer them to. It's like, oh, you're gonna play the game. All right, well, just go to my YouTube, and you can kind of see. At the very least, I'll post just like I did at Street Hacker. I'll post some just getting started. At the very least, a mission or two and whatnot. I'll probably go up to hacking a bank account and then you're set. That's pretty much it. After that, you can just progress in the story, and if you know that you've gotten that far, you can, yeah. So let's go ahead and this is when you install it. This should be I can, I guess, make a video later or some point and install them, but you should be able to handle. It's not very complicated to install. You just find a download of Uplink. I think it's only like $10 on Steam. There's a bunch of Steam how to add the OS and walkthroughs on how to do it with Steam. Basically, you just get the download of the mod, and then you overwrite your old Uplink, or just extract it into the Uplink folder, and voila, change the executables. Instead of executing the one that comes with the game, you execute Uplink OS and make yourself a new shortcut for it, and there you go. And then now it's going to take that and reskin it, and it's going to look completely different from the old map, which is really cool because it was kind of very outdated and makes this game almost just totally, and the way the new additions that he made just makes it so much more user-friendly and just excellent. There's a whole defrag thing that was just stupid, and looks like he took that out, and he did a great job. The only thing he missed was copy-paste. If he would, I would have just, I'd actually made a point to go out and make a comment on YouTube or somewhere on a blog somewhere or whatever, and that would have been the first time ever. So, like, yes, man, you nailed it. Like, yes, perfect. But no, yeah. Apparently didn't think of that, or maybe just because I'm not into game designing, so maybe it's just kind of too hard to fucking do. I don't know. Okay, there we go. And this will be. I actually just played this game and got as far as getting into the story, and I had over $1 million. I had bought and everything, and I got fucking, I fucked up and executed the Revelations virus on my computer and not on the system I was trying to attack, and destroyed my entire laptop and everything. I'm like, oh, and then I get back in. It's like, okay, you gotta. Well, I was good. I still had $1 million something in bank account, and my laptop was destroyed. So I was about to go buy everything over again. But then because of that, I totally forgot to delete my logs, and then I got traced for the hack, and that totally ended the account, and that was it. And then the Uplink launcher that you can use for the original game doesn't work for this. So the only thing I can think of is if you make a zip of the game anytime you want to save it, and then anytime you get caught, try to extract over it. Just delete it and then re-extract it, and that should work. It usually does. I mean, it's not a big game, so it wouldn't be a big deal just to extract or make a zip of it every so often. And that'd probably be the only way I can think of that you could feasibly get it to work. But yeah. So this is what you're going to get, the screen you're going to get. And then we're going to go ahead and make a walkthrough. Okay. Oh. Okay, make your username and password just like Windows anything. I always start on Chicago. Yes. And then now you're getting set up as a new agent. Alright. No, we don't need a tour guide. I know what I'm doing. Alright. So now you get this email that lets you know if I can... You gotta do the Uplink test mission, but before you can do that, just like most hacker games, you gotta get their software in order to do it. Yeah, it gives you my name and my code to get into the system. So we're gonna go ahead and first thing we're gonna connect to this. Now this is what I've kind of added to my walkthrough that I don't think I've seen on any of the ones I was browsing on YouTube. I didn't watch too many, but is they don't get into the mods. It's actually a must. One thing I'll let you know right here. There's these two mods that are just excellent computers. Matter of fact, this was so far I have all the mods that I could find. There might be a few I missed, but that's pretty much, if you notice, if you're playing the stock game, your list isn't going to be this big. Well, it's because I have a bunch in here, like 36 processors that I added myself that you can get, and they're very easy to find and very easy to install. You just extract them into your Uplink folder and your program files directory, and voila. The main one you're looking for is just Get Green Machine. It's one of the best computers. It literally is. I mean, there's no other computer that takes 48 processors. The closest one is this one that takes 36. So it's like the best machine you can possibly ask for, and it gives you 30 grand. Okay, you only start off with 3 grand. So this is a must-buy right off the bat. Gateway upgrade. All right. So now we'll go to apps, and we need a couple of main apps. We can go ahead and get this guy, and now that we got 30 grand, you can go ahead and you can now get a little bit more. That'll give you just that much of a head start on this shit. So no, 15 grand. What do I want here? Okay, we got that. HUD tools. Proxy bypasser. We're going to need we're going to want to get that version 4. At least you'll see why. We'll do HUD trace. And that's actually way better than you can afford it, and it's way better than Trace Tracker version 4 2500. So maximum, and yeah, the HUD trace is way better. So you can afford that right off the bat. Log deleter, got to get that. And then log modifier, trace tracker, proxy disabler. We just bought that, didn't we? Thought I did. Oh no. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I messed up. Alright, and I think. No, I didn't. Okay. I must not have took, because I don't see, I have way too much money if I spent 10, 16 grand on that. 10 grand. How much grand money do I got left? 22 grand. Yeah, we can go ahead and get that. Proxy disabler. Maximum version. And how much more do we got left here? 12 grand. Shouldn't have to worry about all that quite yet. Got the log deleter. Alright, I think that's all. Now, of course, you know, this is the stuff we're looking for, this and this, but that's just, the 30 grand doesn't quite cover any of that. I mean, you can barely buy the HUD analyzer, and that's just the start. Then you gotta buy at least the proxy disabler, which it just doesn't work. So you're better off just sticking with that, and then we'll upgrade them later on once we, I'll show you how to do the IP lookup. We'll take that. Voice and we don't need that. We don't need any LAN tools. We don't need a lab modifier. We don't need any of this quite yet. We can get by. We should be able to get by with just this for now. What do we got left? We got 12 grand, so at the very least I'd like the... Okay, we already got the hardware. We'll get the Uplink test mission done. So before anything, we're going to go here. We're going to go to the NRC. And we're going to go, I'm going to add stock market. Oop, damn it, not what I wanted to do. I still got to get a little more used to this interface, but yeah. We'll go stock market, we'll bookmark it. We'll go banks. And we'll bookmark all the banks. That puts all the banks on your fucking master list. And then what I like to do for hops, so you got a fuck ton of hops right here. Public access servers, there is a use for them later on. But at the best, it's the easiest ones to add in a bunch for hops for your tracing until you get monitor bypass. Putting in a massive amount of hops is the best way to buy yourself plenty of time to get done what you need done. And public servers are just there's one for every corporation, so they're good. And you'll find a later use for them once you start getting into hacking banks and mainframes and other shit like that. Then criminal database right here. This is another one you want to add. I didn't, yeah. Oh, global. I guess you can just search it by that, but you want that in there. And then we're going to go ahead and take... Now, if you can go ahead and wait. When you get storyboard missions, a lot of these ones will just open up. Academy Records. There we go. International Academy. You probably want that. Okay. Most of all the uplink shit's already bookmarked. Alright, I think that should do it. Now I think what we can do here first is we'll go bounce around. Oh wait, close. We're going to put the NRIC, International Bank, stock market, Academy base, and put them in your favorites. So now they're all here. So that way you can just click right over and you can get to the ones you're going to be accessing a lot. So, and they'll also show the name up instead of, you can just put your, on this new OS, you just put your, and then it'll, but if you put them in your favorites, that's when they'll put in it. Or if they're a mission, part of a mission that you took, side mission or story, those should pop up. But just putting them in there will, okay, that's kind of, yeah, it's not really necessary, but who cares. Alright. can't wait to get it. We got to grind out some Jing, and then we're going to buy, actually, we got to grind out some Jing. We're just going to do this uplink test mission, and then I'm going to wait till, and fast forward some time to get your green machine. Yep, 24 hours before you get it, so. Alright, access logs. Oh my god, once you get a few more processors, this is so much faster. And it's almost instantaneous. Once you fill up that green machine with 20 processors, everything's almost instantaneous. Most things. Deciphering still takes a minute, but it is, yeah. So right now I'm just deleting all the logs for my, even so that it doesn't even know I access this machine. Alright, now we'll disconnect. No, it's just so we have the passwords. They never, that's actually low security, so you don't have to really, I didn't even have to do all that. They won't even trace it. It's just a low security system, and you'll see why here. So now we got to get that uplink test data. Not all that this isn't very necessary, but what the hell, it'll get necessary later, but what the hell, they're here, so you can go ahead and make a fucking just insane hop. I always do, just because. Alright, you got them there, you know. Start the test. As you can see, no proxy, no worries. We're just going to go ahead and you'll see the HUD trace kick in. And once I get better all this will happen a lot faster. Password breaking, just like dictionary tags, all that shit will happen a lot faster. Alright, access file server. We need the uplink test data, so download data. Come on. God, it's so slow. And we're done. Okay. Now we're going to go to view logs, and we're going to delete our access. In which it made all these different, that's all what we did. Access the uplink test data, access the file server, connection established, and then we logged in mid. It's really not, this one is actually not even, you don't even have to delete, it's really just this one and the rest of them. But you really just delete them all, just to be on the safe side. As you can see, we made so many hops, they're having a hell of a time trying to trace us. And the HUD view is actually way more accurate. So by looking at the actual HUD, that's why you want to use the HUD trace. It is so much more accurate on how much actual time you got left. Even though I do like the trace tracker, especially when you just upgrade all the versions, it gives you time instead. You got 60 seconds, you got 10 seconds, but supposedly it's not as accurate. That's why the HUD trace is more money. And so we'll go ahead and delete our, this is right here. And voila. Actually, I don't think that worked. Oh well, it's just a test mission. You don't really got to worry about fucking anything. They just basically want you just to retrieve the data. So we're going to go reply, file attachment, uplink test data, send. Done. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. That wasn't really all that hard. Welcome to Uplink. Yes. Well, we don't need you anymore. Congratulations on your success. Okay, there we go. Now we're pretty much set. From here on out, this is one thing that Uplink did pretty well is there's a lot of just, you gotta, RPG style, you gotta figure out your own and mess around. At this point, that's it. You actually gotta fast forward, I think, a month before you actually get any story mission. And when the story missions actually starts out really hard, so you already had it, you're kind of forced to, they want you just to go out and hit side missions and, figure it out and work up the money and everything, and not just try to jump. I did that when I first started, is start, well, where's some story missions? I want to do some story, and then I start doing side missions for a little bit, and I'm like, what the hell? And okay, and then fast forward and fast forward and fast forward, and find, oh, a story. Well, then you find out that the first story mission is fucking a mainframe, and it's up there in difficulty with banks and what have you, in criminal database. So it's like, oh shit, I need to upgrade even further. And well, the idea is that you basically we're going to take some side missions here. We're going to grind out some Jing for some hardware. Actually, we don't even need to do that. I just need to... okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to fast forward time. There we go. New gateway ready. So, and when you buy a new gateway, it wants you to log out and log back in. So that's what we're going to do. Not shut down, which will log you right out of the game, but just sign out. So... and it's got this cool fucking right here, so you don't even have to type in your passwords or anything. Alright. Like somebody's going to try to actually hack your Uplink game. Okay, new gateway ready. Alright. Now, gateway info over here, or F3, I guess. There we go. 48 slots, so now you can see the... whoa. Yeah. So, plenty of upgradability. It'll actually suffice for the rest of the game. There's no reason even... I mean, I do once in a while, like especially if I get, busted or self-destruct, and then I got to rebuy, and you got millions of dollars. Like, all right, well, I might as well buy something different just because. But it is really the best. 48 CPUs is ridiculous. But yeah, and then now we got the money to buy the processor. That's about it. Remember, we're gonna be broke. But you'll definitely thank yourself in the end, at least getting one good, because you start out with this one, I believe, or no, this one, and it's just crap. I mean, you see how slow that shit's going, so you're getting just at least one of these, and I got 250 credits left. Getting just one of those will just do wonders. So we'll go ahead and fast forward. And then here's your favorites. There's the public. So all them, so you can pretty much make this list as massive as you want, and you can always search out what you're looking for, and then just add it to favorites, and then you can make missions that you're on, or things you want to make note of, or whatever. Things you want to make note of, like all the banks, you can favorite them all. When you want to hack into them later. All right. Oop, turn that off. Alright, complete. You can just hit the delete key too. So now we should go to your gateway info, and you should see, yep, now we got way more gigahertz, and we got two processors. That's 60 gigahertz that came with it, and then the 200. Now if you want, once you're wondering about the 60, if you can dismount or anything, no, you'll just keep buying CPUs until you can afford to load it all the way out. And then you can buy another one to upgrade. If you buy another, one extra on top of that, it'll replace out the 60 hertz and put in the... you don't get to sell it off or anything, it'll just replace it out. Alright, so now we're dead broke. So that's about where you should be at. You can go ahead and, manipulate that, or if you don't want to, you feel like the mod is cheating, then obviously grind it out. It's just that you're going to grind it out just that much more. And of course, you can kind of pick and choose the software. I'm just telling you that this is all you're going to really need to start off. The best log deleter you can get. Might as well start off with it. It ain't too bad. This proxy disable is going to be for bank transfers, so you need that in order to successfully complete your first bank hack, and once you do that, you're set for the game. That's kind of what, ultimately, if you're playing this game for the first time and you're not really sure, you're just putzing around, that's it. And that's it's kind of like they expect you to get on that bag when you're playing this game all of a sudden, just to realize, hey, wait a minute, does this mean I can hack bank accounts and transfer money to myself and all that? And yes, it does. So you can hack actually every bank account in the game if you really feel like it, and empty out every dollar and cent. And then you got to wait for hack a bank account missions to just generate 300 grand, 500 grand out of nowhere, because you went through and zeroed every account in the game. So yes, that is possible. And that's the end all. That's what they really don't tell you, is that you're supposed to, when you start off like this, and that's why it's so long before you get the storyboard, because really what you're supposed to do is go on yourself, take side missions, putz around, do this, do that, and eventually you get around to hacking a bank account, and then you hack it, you get money, and if you do it all fast enough, you're all done before all of a sudden you have enough money to you're ready to go on the story. Like, I got nothing else to do. I just bought everything, and I got all the land tools, and I'm ready to go. So you can go on with the story and beat the story. But that's why they give you that's why you're like, why am I fast forwarding time and about so long and I'm getting like no story? Well, that's because it doesn't generate for a while, and it's expecting you to grind out. And even if you did get it, and fast forward all the way, you're not going to have the software or to really tackle it. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I need more money and more. So this is what you gotta do to start out, and to make it a little more express, and I think I'm trying to think of how long it takes. It doesn't take too long. It's actually pretty quick. You can get this done, so you can get on to learning land hacks and whatever. So you don't have to grind it out. If you just know how to grind it out, you're alright. It really doesn't take all that long. It should take about, even if you're doing it pretty thoroughly and want to do it kind of right and get a little better software, some better hardware, it shouldn't take more than about 10 or 15 missions or so, somewhere in there, to get to hacking a bank account and get it done. And like I said, that 30 grand is just what you need to pull it off. Forwarding that proxy disabler, and that's pretty much it. That's the thing that allows you to make the transfers. So at least at first, and pretty soon and then once that happens, you'll get monitor bypass, and you'll get proxy bypass, and you'll get all the firewall bypass, and then you can delete that thing, and just use that, and that's way better. But for now, this is how you just kind of get by with just the bare minimum you need. And with that 30 grand startup plus the 3 grand you start off with, you're looking pretty. That saved you a lot of the main grind out right there. So now we just gotta take some peon. You can't get out of it. You're gonna have to take a bunch of side missions. But like I said, you're gonna want to keep taking side missions and then keep going back and keep taking. And as you take side missions, your ranking is gonna climb up the fastest at the beginning. As you take one of them, it's gonna bump up, and then you take 2 or 3 of them, or finish 2 or 3 of them, and it's gonna bump up another ranking. And you're gonna bump up pretty fast. So we'll bump you up to be having class 4 missions. We should be having class 4 missions here in relatively pretty quickly. By 5 or 6 or 7 completed missions, we should be up there. So that's why I mean that it doesn't really take too many, but you do need to complete at least a good 10, 20 or somewhere in there. It's different for everybody, really. It's randomly generated. So sometimes a hack a bank account can come up faster, sometimes it's slower. But ideally, you just want to keep taking the harder and harder missions and complete them, and then eventually you'll get up to hacking a bank account or tracing a bank account transfer, and that's where the big money is. And then that saves you. Those are like class 5 or 6 missions. Well, hacking into an actual bank is more like class 10 or 9 or 8 at least, at the very least, because you actually have to hack the admin section. Well, if you're already given the account information that you need to, kind of takes out, so it makes it a little less difficult. That's why we can get by with just this. And then once you do it, then you can afford all the equipment you need to hack directly into a bank, get all of the logins and everybody's accounts in every single bank. But we need a little more fun money than that. So, all right, we got this one. So let's go see. And of course, there's no point in taking the bag here. We'll just take some of the more expensive ones. See, I guess. And then you see, like some of these have their grayed out, and you can't take them. That's because at first, especially when your ranking's lower, You got to talk to them first. And a lot of times you just got to click it and then agree. You just got to talk to them first. See, that one's allowing me to take them. That one isn't. Now you can also ask for half the money. Nope, they can't agree to that. How secure is the target? Who's the target? Not reveal that information. Okay. Okay, agreed. Alright, we're all set. We got a bunch of missions. Alright, let's go, and we got an upgraded processor, so that should help express things along. All the missions, yep, see all these gold ones? Those are all mission servers, I think. Are two of them the same? Transdestined System Internal Services. Yep, two of them are the same. Huh, good deal. So that means we can kill two birds with one stone. Or one system. Fantastic. Alright, so now what we're going to do, you want to make your first hop to the NRC. I don't know if that's where I fucked, that's why you didn't see the route. So this now we'll do legitimately. So always make your first hop to the NRC. Or even, you know, you can do third or whatever, but make sure it's one of your first. Close to it. And then most of all these white ones are going to be either banks or public servers. So, or all the ones, omnious ones you added. And this is kind of ridiculous, but it doesn't matter because it'll show you the shortcut here. I like to leave the all criminal database, all the uplink shit out of it, you know, just because. Seems like a good practice. And we're going to save this. Alright, well, no, we'll take the one, yeah. And then we're going to save this connection. Okay, just you can only save one. So, it's not like you can you can just save this hop around. You'll see where that helps. Now we'll close. Oh. Now you see it's gone. Now I can just load, and then it's going to load that last save. Alright, so now we're going to connect. And then we're going to go to password break. And we're going to start our hack. So what we need to do is, we need to file name. Okay, that wants file server. It wants 62208. So we're going to find 62208. Yep, right here. Download. And then this one, transient service. 3899. 3899. Download. Alright. Alright, now we're going to back out, and then you want to go into midsection, and you want to go to view logs. And you want to delete all these logs. Yep, 238 obviously is really all we're after. The rest of these aren't ours. It's just all these fucking last ones. Okay, security. Ah, monitor level. Huh. Alright. So, now we can disconnect. Go back to our favorites. Internet IC. Yes. Go back to midsection like I said. They never change their passwords. You can go right in. And there we go. That's what we didn't have before. That's your route. And that's what when they're going to trace you, that's what they're looking for. And that'll give that last one. So that last IP is my actual IP. And then we can delete. You want to just clear all this out, so you were never there. Bam. Alright. Disconnect. Done. That was free and clear. So now all we got to do is say to reply 208 send. It's pretty quick too now. Yep, mission completed. Apply, file attachment, 3899. Oop. Oh, my bad. Haha. That was my bad. I didn't, you gotta pay attention to that. I do that shit all the time. So it's the same last connection, so we can just go ahead and reconnect. We can see if they even bothered. They didn't even bother changing. That's just sad. 3899. We'll delete it. There we go. And we'll just do the whole kit and caboodle again. 238. There we go. Disconnect. Inner IC. That's the main one, the routed. That's what they're going to be looking for when they're trace tracking. It's kind of funny, your IP is a local IP. Like, that is not a true IP. That is, okay. Alright. Here we are. Now, again. Oh, I think they already... Oh, yeah, okay. So then we'll reply. Now we just send. And that should come back completed. Yep, congratulations, it's completed. Thank you. And you can just hit delete, and then you can delete all that shit out. Keep your email clean, otherwise it's going to start getting pretty fucking cluttered. Alright, Hummingbird. It wants us to return the file via email. Okay, this time I paid attention. And it's 8471. So all I gotta do is load that other connection, and then all we gotta do is we're just gonna add an extra hop into Hummingbird developments. And then we'll go ahead and connect. And then we'll... voila. And then... file server. And what was it? I always do this. Fucking Space Cadet 8471. There it is. So we're gonna download it. Oh, not enough disk space. That's gonna be a problem. That's one of the things we're gonna. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete Uplink test data, that, and all the mission files. Yep. Okay. Download. There we go. And bam, we're done. So we'll get out, mid, view logs. And 252 is our IP, or the one we're using the route. So we're going to delete all them 252 access. What we access, where we access from, or accessed from. And then we'll disconnect. And then we'll go back to the NRC, cover our tracks. This is so they can't hire another hacker to trace you down, or their own system admin, I'm not really sure. But either way, that's how they find you. Is if you forget to do this. Now there's some, I think they say that for the most part just deleting their logs on their system or just deleting your NRIC logs, that's enough, but I like to do both just to be safe. I mean, if you can't and you're about to be traced and you're about to be busted and you don't want to fight, you can't hang in there that extra minute to delete the logs, go ahead and disconnect and just get your NRIC ones. And that should be good enough. Don't quote me. If you do get busted, don't, come crying to me, because, like I said, I like to do both just to cover your tracks. But for the most part, if you get that last hop, that kills it. That's, they're going to go through all these different IPs, all the way down, all those hops, and then they're going to come down the inner IC, the last before yours, and it's going to be gone. So that's going to just end their trail. So even if you left those logs, getting your inner IC ones will do the trick. And that's why you get the best log deleter right off the bat, because they cannot be undeleted. So that's good for the most part. So that's good for, make sure you have that, so that way even if they do, if you're hacking a system that's a little bit out of your pay grade, and they have that capability to, recover those logs, the last log deleter doesn't have, it can't be undeleted. Like you said, like you saw, if you look at the software, there is a log undeleter. And if I'm not mistaken, that last version is pretty much solid. It can't be undeleted. Alright, so now we're going to reply. We'll attach the data, send, and then bling. Thank you. And now we just racked up a good $5,000. And now we should have gained. Now we can go ahead and fuck it. I don't got much space right now, so we'll go ahead and fucking delete. Keep your mission data deleted. You don't need it once you complete it. Now I'll go back in. You can see what kind of mission lists we have now. Now you should see right off the bat, yep. Now we got more, and this is $3 a piece, and they're difficulty 3. Generate a university degree, yep. Difficulty 3, yep. So these are all class 3. Alright, so I think we're at a cut point, and I think that covers getting started and just the basics with the mod packs. Like I said, just search Uplink mods in Google, and you'll certainly come across the Green Machine, all the Gateway Machine mods, and you'll come across Green Machine, or even all of them. I wouldn't, you know, if you want that whole list, hey, I wouldn't blame you. So you can get all the mods, and then once you have that start pack, then you have an idea of, and then a few side missions just to get a idea where to start. So we'll go ahead and end it there for the first clip, and we'll come back for getting a little more in depth for it, class 3 and above, and then I'll probably cut it at a certain point right when about the next section. I'll probably cut it at hacked bank count, and that'll be its own section as well, getting into that. So alright, we'll see you in the next episode.